All right, we are live. A little Sunday afternoon action here. I've only got about an hour or so, maybe a little bit more than an hour, we'll see. But what we're going to do today is I'm getting ready for next week. It's going to be a busy week with Prime Day coming up. And I wanted to get a head start on a few things that I also want to get reviewed because the show must go on, as they say. So I got in on loan from Acer the Predator Helios 300. And so that is something I'm going to unbox right now. And we're also going to shoot a video unboxing it. And I think what we'll do is take it apart and see what's inside. So we'll do a little show and tell on that one and kind of record an unboxing video. And we will also unbox, we'll probably do this one first because it's quicker. We're going to unbox the new Hollyland, this is their Lark M1 audio system. This is a microphone system for phones and camcorders and stuff. So it's similar to the one that we looked at recently from DJI, except this one is from Hollyland. So I thought, you know, they reached out, they said, "You want to review it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll take a look at this," because I have experience with their video transmitters, and their video transmitters are very good. In fact, I have one that I haven't reviewed yet, but my local high school just got one, and I was really impressed with it. We used it on their for the graduation this year, the live stream that we do for them, and it was, you know, with a field full of people, we were getting a 1080p video signal like clear across the field, which was great. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so I'm going to stay on as long as I can. We're going to my mom's place for dinner tonight, so I gotta be quick here. Recipe Bob is here. Joe is here. Our usual crowd. Christoph is here. Travis is here. CM is here, and Tech Time with Eric is here. Just got stung by a hornet. You never heard of a blad-faced? I never heard of them either. But although I think I must have. So when I was a kid, Tech Time with Eric, I was playing soccer or kicking a ball with a friend of mine in his front yard, and he kicked the ball and it hit this tree, like this little one of those like younger trees, hit it dead center, right? Inside the tree was a hornet's nest. You know when they say like you kick the hornet's nest? Well, that's kind of what we did. And I think it was the same hornet that stung you. I got stung like 7 times. My friend was like stung, it was awful. I still remember seeing the hornets coming, like they were looking at me in the eye, like, "We're coming for you." It was pretty scary. I hope you're okay. I hope you didn't get stung or didn't have a reaction to it. Travis Rhodes is here. Yes, they did. They changed the badges. Because I don't have my own badges, but I should make some, although I'm terrible at artwork. So we'll see what happens here. CH Gadgets is here. And Tech Time says they were bald-faced. Oh, different. Okay, same. I got you, though. Yeah, I think those were the ones that stung me. JJ Mart says, "What's up? Looks like you're on the wifey's." Yeah. I'm always on whatever schedule is allocated to me. During the week, I have a little more leeway. Like, it's like weekdays or that's what it's at. But the kids are at the beach right now, so I am going to get as much as I can get done before we have to head out again. I don't think we're doing bath time before we have dinner with my mother. I'm not sure. But we are getting Chinese food. And Travis, oh, sorry to hear that you got the Rona finally. Yeah, it gets us all eventually. But it is better. Yeah, I would say that my experience was better than getting stung by hornets. But I would not like to be in either situation. So my best wishes to both you and to Eric in a fast recovery from all that has impacted you. And I want to thank Thor on the Amazon chat for following. And Noah is here. Super excited to see. Yeah, you know, I've been trying to get, they're so hard to get stuff from. I'm not sure, you know, Lenovo is the best at getting me things, followed by HP. And I think they do a lot of their marketing in-house for this stuff, and the others do not. All right, so why don't we unbox this first, because I think this will be faster. And I'm going to shoot an unboxing video, and both of these will go up on the Extras channel. And then I'm going to review, I may shoot a review live of the Acer laptop during Prime Day. I think that might be kind of fun to do. So let me get my camera zoomed in here. And we'll move my paperwork out of the way. And we'll do a quick unboxing here. Sorry, I thought I was on the other camera. We'll do a quick unboxing here of this. And Travis is doing well. Good. Yeah, just hang in there. It hits you like a ton of bricks, and then you come out of it. That's how it was for me. Like I would say there was like 2 days where it was very unpleasant, and then it got better. And then I came down with some other cold, and that knocked me out longer than the COVID did. My kids just kept bringing stuff home. And it's funny, my kids get all this stuff, right? And they were locked in a boat cabin with me and didn't get the Rona, so knock on wood. I hope they're going to steer clear of it. But our schools are done until the end of next month, so we'll see how we do there. Evolved is here with the M1 Mac Mini. Make a good Plex server with a Synology. Yeah, I think that would probably work. Actually, I think they just came up with an M1. I have to cover this. They have an M1 native Plex server now. So I think it would work well. And if what you might want to look at if you're in the market for something like that, you might want to look at a Synology with an Intel processor that can handle transcoding, because if you end up with one of those, then you don't have to use the M1 as a server. Yes, so that's exactly what the ones that hit me looked like. They had like skeleton-looking faces, and they had like stuff sticking out of their nose, like they were nasty. Like I said, those Hornets, they looked me dead. I was like probably 7 years old when this happened, but those Hornets looked me dead in the eye, like, we're coming for you, buddy. And I felt it was completely unjustified on the Hornets' part, because although we did disturb the tree they were in, their nest was fine. There was no damage to it. But guess what? My friend's dad had the exterminator come in and took care of that nest afterwards. So they would have been better to do that. And both of Travis's kids were sick last week but tested negative. Yeah, and that was funny because I had it for like 3 or 4 days, and I was negative until like the end of when I was on the other side of it. So when I was starting to feel better was when I was testing negative or positive. So yeah, it's so hard now. It's getting harder because it's transformed into whatever it is now. But we're all going to be okay. Mark Dell is here. How am I enjoying the Steam Deck? Yeah, what's funny? I am actually catching up on a lot of my backlog also. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it because there's TV shows that I'm trying to catch up on, right? So I've been watching more TV. But yeah, I've been messing around a lot with it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to keep it or not. That's my big decision right now, is that. So we'll have to see what happens. And Evolved has the 1821 Plus. You might want to try Evolved, because I found, if you haven't already, try it and see if it transcodes. Because we did do a video the other day with a mini PC that had a Ryzen that transcoded. So I think we're getting closer. But yeah, an Intel NUC would do the trick. But yeah, it would be more expensive. I think you might, if you're curious, if you're Mac curious, I think the M1 might be a fun one to get. And I just got a scam message from PayPal, or from someone who says they're PayPal. Yeah, like I'm going to fall for that one. Give me a break. Delete that message there. And Tech Time said that you were coming back from church and they just attacked you. Yeah, those Hornets are nasty. You must have run over something, or they maybe presumed that you did something wrong to them. My week was good. My week is good every week, to be honest with you. I'm knock on wood, I'm a pretty lucky guy. So, but it was a good week. Got a lot done this week. I'm looking forward to getting more done. I already shot the weekly wrap-up because they're a lot quicker to do now. And by the way, the weekly wrap-up, the new format, worked okay. I have not messed around with Proxmox, so I'm not going to be your guy on that one. I'm interested in it, though. I have installed it, but I haven't played around with it too much just yet. So stay tuned on that. You know, the only reason why I'm not considering keeping it is I've been buying a lot of stuff lately, and my profit margin is reducing. So it's I'm thinking, and I have to, and I'll get to the next comment, which is related to this, because I want to buy some more ham radio stuff, and I'm like, you know, so because I can do a lot on a laptop that I can do on the Steam Deck. That was what I brought up in my video. So I'm not sure yet. I probably will end up keeping it because I keep everything, but we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, so Steve, I'm looking to get some more ham radio stuff. I am in the market for a base station and antennas, so I'm going to try to get as much as I can out of my technician license. But I'm going to get a Yaesu base, which does HF, VHF, and UHF in one unit. And it's got 2 different radios built in, plus an antenna tuner. It's like $1,200, but it's less equipment that I have to have on the desk, so I'm probably going to go with that. And then we'll see about getting the other stuff going. And Jesse, I think, is the only one. I have to look back, but I am pretty sure that you were the only one that complains about this. And I'm not going to change it because I got nothing to change it to. But I did change it up. I added some new things. We have the Game Boy box back there. And we have, what else did I add recently? I think I added, where did it go? I did add something else besides the Game Boy box. I can't remember. So actually, so what I'm going to be doing soon, this is going to be fun. And if you all are not already subscribed, then we'll get to this unboxing here in a second. If you are not already subscribed, I am going to soon be doing some stuff on this new thing called Whatnot. And if you subscribe to my store alert email, Lon.TV/store alert, I'll probably send out an email to the whole list also about this. But what I'm going to be doing is I have a bunch of stuff that I can't sell because it was provided free from the manufacturer. So what I can do in many cases, and I'll double check on all the items, is I can usually do like a giveaway. And so what I had been doing for a while was this cost of shipping giveaway thing. And it's just such a pain to arrange for it because I have to set up a random drawing. I got to contact the person. Like there's all these things that make it so I never get around to doing it. And now I've got like stuff up the wazoo. So I was playing around the other day and found this whatnot.com, and it's like an online live streaming auction / selling site. So you can auction things, or you can just name a price, and whoever gets it first gets it. So I'm going to be doing that. So some of the things that we'll do on there will be like just sales of things that I purchased, and other things will be like through this giveaway thing where it's going to be like $5 plus the cost of shipping, which covers my expenses for getting rid of it. And so if you go to Lon.TV/store alert, I will keep you in the loop on that. And it's definitely worth checking out. So we will get that going. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, and then I think I'm setting up with their influencer or whatever. So I think once I get everything set up, when you sign up, they give you like a $10 credit against anything on the site. And if you haven't played with it, it's kind of cool. So stay tuned. I will have more info, hopefully midweek. And we'll get to this in a second here. What is some expensive tech that you think is worth investing in for a normal person and a thing for a tech nerd? Well, that's a deep question. I think it varies on what your use case is. I like the Mister. I think that's a really fun. I like things that you can tinker with that have expansion capability. So that's why I like the Mister. And I think I might like, this is why I'm probably going to keep the Steam Deck, Markdale, is that there's probably going to be more things happening with it, and I'll never be able to get another one. I wish it had, I wish it had more availability, because like I like covering things that people can buy. Like if somebody wants a wireless microphone kit, here it is. You can go out and get it. But in the case of other things like the Steam Deck, you can't get one. You can order it and you might get it a year from now, right? So that's been kind of my frustration with it. And I will check out Larry's list. And 7.3 to you. This is KC1 RGS. Not signing out just yet, but you can find me hopefully soon on HF. I'm going to start messing around on 10 meter HF because that's all I'm allowed to do. So we'll see what happens. Deb Duda is here. Actually, now it's 6 gigabits per second. So yeah, we're 4K at 30 megabits right now. And then I'm doing another 2.5 to Amazon right now too. Yeah, and I think so the mini arcades have been here for a while. What did I add to the, maybe I moved something else around. I can't remember. So I think everything else on here is, yeah, maybe it was just the Game Boy box, and I think I had to relocate things to make room for the Game Boy box. That Game Boy box is in excellent shape, by the way. Yeah, so maybe I'll move things around a little bit and just see who notices. And Mark Dell's getting into Whatnot too. Yeah, so we'll do a simulcast where I'll be broadcasting here, but I'll have a thing up on screen about where you can go to participate. And HT recommended these. Oh, this is the ones you recommended. Yeah, this is Hollyland, and I better get to unboxing this before my wife shows up. What I like about Hollyland is that they make really good wireless video transmitters, and I had I was able to try one out at my local high school when we were doing our graduation ceremony, and we were live streaming and transmitting a 1080p signal like through a crowded field. It was crazy how great it works. So I think they're pretty good about their wireless technology, but we will see for sure when we do the full review. And so we'll probably have another stream with this on Tuesday, testing it out. So today we're just going to unbox it because I want to get to that laptop and get an unboxing video of that too. Alec wants to know, will I switch to Frontier Fiber? So I am committed to the Comcast connection for 3 years. So I have to keep it at least until October of next year. And you know, we'll see how good the Frontier is. One thing that I've noticed with this connection, and I mentioned this in my last video, is that you're really hard pressed to find anything that saturates it. So, you know, the other day I was uploading to Floatplane and YouTube at the same time, so sending the same file to 2 different places, and the best I was able to get out of that aggregate connection was about 6 gigabits. I'm sorry, 1.2 gigabits. My total is 6 upstream, but I can only get about that much. However, the advantage the Comcast connection has is that this is a Metro Ethernet connection, so I'm not sharing this line back with anybody. So on the Frontier, it's still better than coax and better than DSL by far, but you're on a shared connection back to wherever it terminates. So in this instance, like, it's just me going back, and you know, the reliability I think is going to be a little better. We'll see. But what I am going to do is find a friend that has it, and I'll do a review of it because I'm really eager to see how it works once they start installing it around here. And yeah, Retro RGB's been doing Whatnot quite a bit. I haven't seen him doing it recently. I think he must have cleaned out his inventory, but he's always got more stuff to get rid of. And I'm going to do my first one with, this probably won't interest you all because I've been trying to get rid of this stuff for a while. But I've got, when I bought the Game Boy thing, I ended up with a bunch of other stuff. And so I'm going to start auctioning off the other stuff from that, that lot. Because all I wanted was the box, which I got for the background there. Richard Moore is here. All right, let me go and let's do the unboxing here, and then we'll do the other unboxing. So we're going to record this for the Extras channel, and also for Amazon, and then we'll come back and take that laptop apart. Then we'll see how easy it is to take it apart. So HT says that these mics are actually a Chinese rebrand. Oh, interesting. So we'll see how good these work then. Yeah, it is a Chinese company. But I don't know if they're rebranding their video transmitters. I've had really good luck with those. But they do look similar to some of the other ones out there, don't they? So these are available. So the Game Boy games sold already. It's the game manuals. I did get rid of the Game Boy games. And Richard Moore is wondering, am I getting the Pixel 6a? Yes, I believe I am. And I think it's coming out soon, so we will be looking for that as well. All right, so let me do a quick recording here, and we'll kick it off. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for another unboxing. I just got in this free of charge from Hollyland. This is their Lark M1. And this is a wireless clip-on microphone system for camcorders and smartphones. And recently we looked at the kit from DJI that I thought was pretty good for a basic audio system, and we'll see how this one stacks up. This one is a lot less expensive, by the way. And I do want to mention, in the interest of full disclosure, this came in free of charge from Hollyland for review. However, nobody is reviewing or approving what you're about to see before it gets uploaded, and no one is compensating me for this unboxing, and all the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Now, it comes in the box, and it comes with a carrying case, which is nice. And let's take a look and see what is in here. So it looks like this little pack here has some dead cats for wind reduction when you're out in the field. They also make really fun practical jokes around the house. Put them under a pillow and see what your significant other does when they see it. And similar to the DJI, it's got a charging case, and this is similar to AirPods as well. And the microphones here, there are 2 of them, charge inside of the case, and then you've got your receiving unit here as well. And this charges over USB Type-C. And we're going to have a full review of this soon, so we'll have more on the audio quality and everything else coming up shortly. And then in the other portion of the pack here, looks like we have a USB-C charging cable. We have a TRS to TRRS cable. And this is important because if you are plugging into a headphone jack on a smartphone, the jacks typically are TRRS, which include the audio, stereo, and a microphone. But oftentimes, microphone outputs are just TRS, and you can see there are 2 little black lines there on one end and 3 on the other one here. And if we look at the transmitter, my suspicions here are that one of these will plug into, the output. So what you would do is have the black portion here plug into the output, and then you plug this gray one into your phone's connection to make it work. Now also here is just a straight up TRS to TRS cable, and this is what you would use to connect to a specific mic input on a camcorder. So oftentimes on a camcorder you have a headphone jack and a microphone jack. This goes into the microphone jack, but smartphones again have a jack that combines both the microphone and the headphones, which is why you need the TRS to TRRS for that to work. So that is that, and this is the transmitter. There's no display on the transmitter, it just have lights on it. Or this is the receiver, I should say. And then these units are the microphone units that also transmit. And you've got your microphone pickup here, a little clip-on thing. They're actually pretty small. They're a lot smaller than the DJI unit is. And these can be charged independently with USB Type-C on the bottom here. And they also have a noise reduction button here, which we will test out when we do the full review. All right, so I'm going to stop there for a second. And I'm pretty sure these units record independently. All right, let's see what we get here. So we got that done. Let's put this back in here. This is the receiver. Now, I don't know whether or not how the recording works on these. They don't actually have there's no instruction manual in the box either. Oh, there is. Wait, there's one in here. Okay, so let's see I just want to see what the instructions say here. All right, let me just cut to this then. We'll cut to me and then I just want to see what the manual actually has here. All right, there's the user manual. Okay, let me just look at this because I'm curious if these record independently or not. And they've got like some indicators for different types of cameras. Now they don't call them dead cats, they call them furry windshields. Installation, very simple. Camera connection with TRRS compatible devices. Why did I think these things recorded? I guess they don't record. That's one killer feature of the DJI is that it records on the microphone units independently. All right, so let's continue onward here. You know what I should probably do is like a sample audio thing, because I'm sure somebody's going to want to know about it. So maybe I'll hook it up and I'll hook it up to my computer and just do a quick audio thing. Because I do have a USB cable kicking around here that I could plug in. So why not? Let's do that. Gosh darn it, we have the time, so we're going to do that. Okay. Hey, Jason Butler's studying for his technician license. Awesome. So we should have a big high frequency meetup of all of the hams. I can't believe how many well, I guess I should believe this. How many ham technicians and extras and generals are subscribed to my channel. And at the end of the month, by the way, I'm going to be going to ARRL HQ, which is located right here in Connecticut, to visit. We're going to have a fun visit there. All right, so we'll cut to this part. And we'll go from there. Richard's like, I want to buy. Yeah, I'm good at making people buy stuff, right? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on Team Pixel. I was just at one of their events in New York City a few weeks ago. So I think I'm on their list to get one of their 6As, and those reviews do better for me than the mainline Pixels because people watch me for cheap stuff. And Scott enjoys watching the streams. Glad you do. And Tech Time has got the Rode version. Yeah, that's one I haven't looked at yet, so I'll have to take a look at that. And CH Gadget's really a compact system. It is pretty compact. And Hallie, I have all of the details of my system on a playlist. If you go to Lon.TV/production, you can see everything I'm doing. Right now I'm using vMix, which has been working great. And I think I know I did a video on my 4K setup recently that's in that playlist, so you can see all the stuff that I'm doing there. But yeah, we're going to have video from ARRL, which is the American Radio Relay League, I think that's what they stand for, right? That's their headquarters, right here in Connecticut. And Richard Kidd says, I'm wondering, so yes, there is another thing in these boxes that we'll get to in a minute for hooking up to smartphones. And we'll move on from there. And Travis Rhodes, yes, I will be doing live streams. The reason why I'm doing some of this prep work today may or may not be because of Prime Day. I'm not at liberty to say. All right, so let's go to the next part here. 3, 2, 1. Now you also get some instruction manuals in the box here as well. So you've got your little card here where they hope that you don't return it to Amazon. You have some basic instructions here. There's not much to this because you just pair things up and plug them in. But the manual might help with getting some of those things troubleshooted out. And then I also got these two boxes from them. So you saw that we have these analog connectors for the microphone, but what if you have a smartphone that doesn't have a headphone jack? Well, you can buy some extra cables here to get that done. Now, the DJI that we looked at had these cables included. The cables for this kit are optional. So this one is their lightning adapter. So you've got your TRS connector for the receiver right here, and then you plug this end into your iPhone. And then we also have one that should be a USB Type-C version, which you would use with your Android phone. So let's open it up here and see if that is the case. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So if you have a phone that lacks a headphone jack, you do need to make sure you pick up one of these cables with it so that you're able to connect it to your phone. Now, you could also get an adapter for converting Lightning, for example, back into a headphone jack, at which point you would likely be using this cable to connect with the adapter. But I think it's much easier to have a dedicated adapter to get it done. Now what I want to do is a quick mic check. We're going to plug this directly into my video system over USB, and we'll see how this sounds. All right, so now we're going to do a little experiment here and figure this out. So yeah, the best way, so here's what I would suggest on Prime Day. If you're already following me on Amazon, you're all set. But if you are not, I would suggest you do that and follow me, because I'll be doing some live streams throughout the day. And more often than not, Prime Day has things that I have already reviewed and have on hand. So I like to just take the stuff out and show people how they work and answer questions and all that kind of stuff. So Tuesday will be probably doing like a couple different live streams. I'll do at least one in the morning and then maybe 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And Prime Day is a 2-day event, so you will see me more than once, more than likely. All right, so I'm going to plug this long cable in here. And hopefully my stream doesn't go out. I always hate manipulating my my system here while we're in the middle of production, but all right, so I just connected it. And we'll see what happens here. So now I'm going to take this one out. And okay, so it's indicating that I've got one connected here. And what I'm going to do now is clip this onto my shirt. I'm just going to put it right here. Okay, so now I've got it clipped. Actually, let's clip it the way that a normal person would. So I'll just clip it to my shirt. Oh, I'm not going to do it like that. Move this down a little bit. Connect it. I'll connect it in the middle here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to connect it right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in, because it should show up now as a microphone on my system here. Problem is, it just says USB audio and HID. Is that the one? I don't know. We'll try it and see what happens. Okay, so now I think it is. Test. Okay, so let me, you're probably already hearing it. Let's see. Can you all hear this? I'm going to turn the headphone volume up on it as well. So it's very low. Check, check. Check, 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 check. Okay, so hang on a second. Let me kill my... So let me know if you're hearing this. Can you hear me? Because it's not looping back out into my system. So let's take a look here and see if there's a way to boost the audio on this sucker. Check, 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 check. I wonder if it doesn't output over USB. All right, let me try it again here. Oh, you can hear it. Okay. Very low gain. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Okay, so let me check, check, check. Now it's like totally out again. Let me reconnect it. And so right now I'm coming through this mic. So we're going to reconnect it here and see if that might rectify it. And do I have to turn this thing on or something? Let's see. Supposedly it pairs up automatically because it's lighting up blue. If I turn it off, okay, so now it's going like into search mode here. So I'll turn it back on. Okay, so now we'll pair up again. And Matt Thomas says it's only coming out of the left side. All right, so that's, yeah, I was noticing that on my thing also. I could probably fix that. So let me go back to the microphone. So I guess it just shows up as like a USB microphone. It doesn't even say that it's like a Hollyland anything. It's just like, here I am. And okay, so it's very low gain. And I've got it cranked up on vMix. I can't get it up any higher. So we need to figure out how to increase the gain on this. And there is a button here to do, it looks like a plus button. So if I look on the transmitter, yeah, this definitely feels like something that was rebadged, to be honest with you. Like the other Hollyland stuff I've looked at is much higher quality than this. So we will consult the instruction manual. So button 1 on the receiver, if I'm looking at it this way, is the pair volume up. So I guess they don't even indicate which direction it's pointed in. And then 6 and 7 are the charging contact. 7 is the charging contact. 6 is the mounting clip. Okay, so I need to hit this plus button here to increase the gain, I'm assuming, but it's not actually doing anything. Now, right now I've got it connected over USB, and I'm like I'm cranking it, but I don't have an indicator as to how far up it is. So that looks like it just went lower. So I'm going to hold it down. Although I wonder if that's going to repair it. All right, so now and there's no way to adjust it on the unit itself. So I'm talking like right into it. Here, I'm going to record something so I can hear it. Okay, so now I'm talking right into it, and let me know how it sounds to you. All right, let me take a look at that. What I might do is I might plug this in with the adapter and see if that works better. All right, hang on, let me play this back real quick. Okay, so now I'm talking right into it, and let me know how it sounds to you. Yeah, it's got like no gain to it at all. And I have it cranked up on, so I feel like I need to like adjust this. So my guess is we're going to do this differently here. We're going to connect this with that USB. So I'm going to connect it instead with the USB-C cable here and see if this fares any better. Because this one connects through the, what am I doing here? Where did it go? Here it is. This one connects through the output thing. So let's try this one. I just have to put this on top of the computer, so let me just do that real quick. Well, I got to put it behind the computer because that's where the USB port is. And it's probably going to be like super loud. All right, so I got a USB-C port back here somewhere, I think. Does this computer have a USB-C port? I thought it did. Oh, it does, right here. Okay. Let me stretch this cable out a little bit. If not, we'll find a different way to try this out. Okay. All right, so now we're going to pair it up that way. And let's see if that fares better. Because this now it's connected as like through its 3.5-inch output. So microphone USB-C audio. Okay, this looks a little better. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. All right, so let me try this. For some reason, I'm not hearing it out my monitor, which I'm supposed to. And Frank Cromer says it's better. So what I'm going to do now is just give it like three or four ticks of an increase. And I have to like walk over to it because it's connected to the short cable. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and see if that gives us any better. Check, 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 check. Yeah, it's still super low. And I'm like cranked up here. And for whatever reason, I'm not getting this out of my system. Check, 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 check. So I'm going to give it a little bit of gain in here. This is like 16 dB, and now I'm finally starting to hear it. Check, 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 check. That sounds better. But I don't think I'm getting it out of the let me record real quick. So I am testing now. I'm testing the microphone to see how it works. Thank you. All right, let's see if we got anything out of it now. So you all are hearing it, but it's not coming up on my recording for some reason. Let's play that back and see quick. So I am testing now. I'm testing the microphone to see how. So why is that? So it's picking up, it's getting fed through everything. Yeah, there's no drivers. So there's some question about drivers. There's no drivers to install. This is like straight up USB-C audio. So I'm going to have to play around with this a little bit more. But I am not hearing. I don't think my computer's muted here because I could play. Oh, you know what? I know what's going on. Hang on. I know what's going on. So let's go back to my. There we go. Okay. That's better. Now I'm hearing it. All right, so hang on. Let me hear what it sounds like. It works. Thank you. Oops. Quick. So I am testing now. I'm testing the microphone to see how it works. Thank you. Quick. So I am testing now. I'm testing the microphone to see how it works. Thank you. Quick. So I am testing now. I'm testing the microphone to see. You know, it doesn't sound bad. It actually sounds pretty good. And my other mic is definitely disabled, but it's very low gain. So let me just adjust my settings here. My little keyboard's starting to go, by the way. Okay, so let me turn this off. Okay, there we go. All right, so what happened was I wasn't hearing it because it was routing it through my long story. All right. Okay, so now thank you all for the feedback. Yeah, the echo was because it was playing back through the monitor that I have. All right, so let me just see where I left off on the last usable clip. But the quality of the mic is pretty good. I'm fairly pleased with how it sounds, but it comes in at a very low gain. So 1 second here, I just got to do an adjustment. Hollyland 1, and this is Hollyland 2. And I guess it's for the best that it comes in that way, that you're not like completely overloading it. All right, so I'm going to pick it up on here. Actually, I'll do it this way. All right, so let's try this and see how it sounds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we've got it now hooked up, and I will move it closer here so you can get a feel for how it'll sound when it's in a clipped-on position. It actually sounds pretty good. One thing that I noticed with it, though, is that it's got a very low gain on it. I really had to crank things up in my software to get it to work, and I also had tried adjusting things from the receiver, but I wasn't seeing much of a difference there. So that's going to be something we'll explore in the full review, but I think now that I have all the settings set up, it actually sounds okay, but stay tuned. We're going to dig into this a lot further coming up very soon. So I will be back with that before you know it. And until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right, let's see how that worked. So let me go back to here. Actually, I think I may want to do a little more than what I just did there, but let's see if this how this sounds. So I'm running out of time. They're coming home soon, and I'm going to be in trouble. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay, so we've got it now hooked up, and I will move it closer here so you can get a feel for how it'll sound when it's in a clipped-on position. It actually sounds pretty good. One thing that I noticed with it, though, is that it's got a very low gain on it. I really had to crank things up in my software to get it to work, and I also had tried adjusting things from the receiver, but I wasn't seeing much of a difference there. So that's going to be something we'll explore in the full review, but I think now that I have all the settings set up, it actually sounds okay, but stay tuned. We're going to dig into this a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to actually do a transition where I'm going to change the audio in real time so people can hear the difference between my mic and it. And I'm going to try to crank this up a few more notches here and see if... I just don't feel like that switch does anything. It just kind of stays in one spot. Okay. Check, check, check. Yeah, it does very little. Very little. Check, check. And I'm still on my mic, but I'm looking at the levels, so it's a little better. Check, 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 check. So this is what, yeah, it's still like pretty low. Let me turn off that without the noise reduction. Yeah, I'll mess around with all that stuff as we get into it. I'm going to turn this on, and we're going to go here, and then I'll switch it. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I've got everything paired up. What I did is I connected the TRS to USB-C adapter to my computer to kind of simulate what it would be like on a smartphone. And right now we're still on my regular mic here, but what I'm going to do is disable and turn on the Hollyland mic here, and you can hear what it sounds like. The big thing that I'm struggling with on this right now is that the gain is really low on this. And even when I turn things up on the receiver unit, it is still very, very low. So I'm going to explore that a bit in the full review. I think the mic sounds okay, but we are, of course, in a quiet environment at the moment. There is a noise reduction feature to this, which we will explore in the full review. But I really want to get to the bottom of why it's coming over so low, even on its USB connection here. So we're going to dive into this in a lot more detail in my full review, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right. Okay, so let me play that back and see how that worked. And we'll dive into it a little bit more. Yeah, I looked into the mic settings. It's not the Windows setup. It is, this thing just comes over low. Because if I look at the Windows mixer, yeah, it's just coming over low. I'm just looking through my settings here to see if it has any, yeah, I don't really have any settings here that I could adjust. just comes over low. And I think my keyboard's batteries are dying here. I may have to swap out my keyboard batteries soon. And Professor Nez is here. Is that a vintage Macintosh? It's actually a vintage Macintosh SE30 and an Apple IIgs. And that is my Apple IIgs from when I was a kid. All right, let's take a look and see how that last clip came out. I'll be right back. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I've got everything paired up. What I did is I connected the TRS to USB-C adapter to my computer to kind of simulate what it would be like on a smartphone. And right now we're still on my regular mic here, but what I'm going to do is disable and turn on the Hollyland mic here, and you can hear what it sounds like. The big thing that I'm struggling with on this right now is that the gain is really low on this. And even when I turn things up on the receiver unit, it is still very, very low. So I'm going to explore that a bit in the full review. I think the mic sounds okay, but we are, of course, in a quiet environment at the moment. There is a noise reduction feature to this, which we will explore in the full review. But I really want to get to the bottom of why it's coming over so low, even on its USB connection here. So we're going to dive into this in a lot more detail in my full review, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right, that's good. Yeah, you know, it doesn't sound half bad. It really doesn't. So this is weird. Now it's coming. I wonder if it picks up from the front. Check, 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 check. You know what? I think it picks up from the front part here. Check, check, check. Yeah, it's about the same. I'm going to have to really mess with this. But we got to get to the laptop. So let me get this thing disconnected, and we'll continue onward here before my wife and kids get home, because I'm on borrowed time here. Okay. So yeah, not as elegant as the DJI solution. Although I did hear from a viewer on the DJI system who told me that the DJI has like some built-in frame lag that they were noticing. So that's another thing to follow up on, I think, at some point. So let me put all this stuff back in the bag here. But this costs a lot less than the DJI one does, so I think that might make it kind of attractive for some folks. These go with that. I'm just going to throw it in here for now. We'll deal with that in a little bit. Now I've got a bunch of stuff to add to my mess, which I never get around to cleaning up. All right, so now let's clear the deck here, and we will move on to the laptop. And I just put another scratch on my table here. Let's get these things off of here. All right, Christoph has got to take off, but we will see you back in a little bit. And we'll go from there. All right. And Professor Nez is it again, and that will fix it. There we go. Yeah, so there's a problem on YouTube, and hopefully everyone's back now. So on YouTube, for whatever reason, whenever, and they are aware of this problem, I apparently found a bug on YouTube, like an actual YouTube bug. So when you stream at 4K, at least when I do, probably because I'm some minuscule streamer, when you send them 30 megabits per second of bandwidth, it drops out at like anywhere between 52 and 55 minutes. So they have yet to fix it. They did email me to tell me that they're still working on it. So at least they know that the bug is there, and I found it. All right, but the good news is I'm still here. All right, so this is the Helios 300. And this one has this is an 11th generation. So this is kind of like it's not a 12th generation because it is like last year's model. So I will show you the specs here. It is I'm going to set up my recording here so you can get all the specs here. I'll put them into the chat on Amazon or YouTube. So it's an i7 look how nice that looks in 4K, everybody. i7 11800H, 1180, 11800H, is that right? 11800H. It's got a 3060 GPU, and this may or may not be on sale on Tuesday. 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 and 512 gigabyte NVMe. And it's got a 144 hertz 1080p display. Okay. So that's what we got out of this one. This box actually looks pretty good. So I am not the first one to get this machine, but it looks like it's in fairly good shape here. And let me see what the goodies are here. So it's like they got some stickers and stuff in here. So there is a return label that I have to find in this box to send, so I can send it back to them. And that's what this is. Do not destroy the box or the packaging. Understood. And there's my label. So I'm going to go put this inside of the other box that it came in. It actually comes with a little sleeve thing too, which I will demonstrate. This sleeve thing, so I'll mention that as well. Okay. And if you're looking to buy this one, I would wait until Tuesday. Okay. And Frank Cromer says, I thought they fixed that. No, they have not fixed it. It is not fixed. It will be fixed, they say, but it's not fixed yet. And we're going to make a new folder here, and this is going to be Predator unboxing. Predator. It sounds ominous. Here's your Predator. And we'll see how ominous it is when we take it apart. We'll be kind to it. All right. So let's move on to the Predator Helios 300. It's had good reviews. I said that, you know what I have to do is I really got to keep on these people to send me stuff. And this is on loan, so I have to send this back to them when I'm done with it. But that's okay. I prefer to get things on loan, to be honest with you. All right, so we're going to get to the unboxing part here. Braden, thank you for the follow on Amazon. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for another unboxing. I just got in on loan the Predator Helios 300 from Acer. This is a gaming laptop, which of course has a discrete GPU on board. This one is equipped with an i7 11800H processor. It's got a 1080p 144 hertz display and an RTX 3060 GPU, along with 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm going to unbox this now, and then we'll have a full review of this coming up soon, so you can see exactly what it is capable of. And I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, this is on loan from Acer. So when we're done with this, it goes back to them. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this unboxing, nor is anyone reviewing or approving it before it gets uploaded. And there are boxes within a box here. So the box that you just saw actually comes in another box because they include a little sleeve here. It's not quite a bag, but a sleeve for your laptop if you wish to carry it around with you. And what I'm going to do now is just get my camera readjusted and give you a nice overhead shot of what's inside this box. All right, let's adjust that because I hadn't zoomed my camera out yet. So we'll do a break here. And I will add, I just want to watch that part of the video just to make sure it is good. And I also need to make sure that I have enough hard drive space for this activity. So let me check that too. I've got 387 gigabytes, which is good enough. All right, let's play this back real quick while I get the camera adjusted. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and it's time for another unboxing. I just got in on loan the Predator Helios 300 from Acer. This is a gaming laptop, which of course has a discrete GPU on board. This one is equipped with an i7-11800H processor. It's got a 1080p 144 Hz display and an RTX 3060 GPU, along with 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm going to unbox this now, and then we'll have a full review of this coming up soon, so you can see exactly what it is capable of. And I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, this is on loan from Acer. So when we're done with this, it goes back to them. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this unboxing, nor is anyone reviewing or approving it before it gets uploaded. And there are boxes within a box here. So the box that you just saw actually comes in another box because they include a little sleeve here. It's not quite a bag, but a sleeve for your laptop if you wish to carry it around with you. And what I'm going to do now is just get my camera readjusted and give you a nice overhead shot of what's inside this box. Okay, there we go. And somebody told me to look out for teeth marks. All right. And Mark Smith is still using his original Chromebook. Yeah, it'll still keep working, right? Until, like, it just won't update. And Braden says, sup with you. What's up? I love that commercial. I'm not a beer drinker, but I love that what's up commercial. All right, so let's pick it up from here before my kids get home. 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's open up the box here. And this presumably is the laptop. And it's already covered up here with a piece of cloth. There's nothing else in this particular box, so we'll set it aside. And this is the underside of the laptop. And this is the upper portion here. It's got some nice rear cooling here, along with some pretty aggressive looking cooling on the bottom. Let's take a look at the ports, and then we'll open it up and see what else we've got here. So this is an Intel-based machine, so you've got a Thunderbolt port over here, USB 3, and HDMI, a mini display port. We don't see those too often anymore, but this one's got it. And then on the back here, there is just the power connector. And then on the other side, we have a Kensington lock, some more venting, built-in Ethernet, which is always nice to see, 2 USB 3 ports over here, and a headphone microphone jack. All right, so I need to make another adjustment here. And my phone decided to pick up on us, but I think we're okay. And we'll just kind of open it up. Oh, it actually stays balanced when you open it up, too. Do you see that? So that's nice. Okay. Get that nice and positioned here. Nice keyboard on this one. And I think this is an RGB keyboard. I can double check that just to be sure. I stole back my wife's computer for today because mine is docked right now, my other one. So I have her MacBook Air on the desk here, which I ordered another one. If you follow my email list, you'll see it on there. All right. So let me do the opening. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's take a look at the keyboard on this. Oops, let me get a better shot. Range. A little better. Okay. I'm not sure what the webcam is on this one. Is it 1080p? I doubt it. Do people buy gaming laptops for their webcams? I don't know. It actually doesn't even list the webcam specs on it at all. Let me look up on the email they sent me. Helios. I don't think they actually did not send me. Here, let's take a look here. So they sent me the link to the actual unit on Amazon, but did they send me a reviewer's guide? They did not. I'll have to, oh, here it is. All right, so let's see, webcam. 720p. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's open it up now and see what is inside here. We've got that display, which we'll take a closer look at in the full review. 720p webcam at the top there, nothing to be all that excited about on that front, but it does have an RGB keyboard, and you'll be able to see those keys light up when we get everything booted up here. The trackpad feels pretty decent. The keys feel like they've got a good amount of travel to them as well. They've got a good push-down kind of feel to them, so you can get a good amount of haptic feedback as you're typing on it. And overall, it looks like a pretty solid device here. Feels like it's made out of mostly metal with plastic on the bottom. And we'll have a more, actually, I'm going to pick this up one more time because I didn't like what I was talking about, and then I was concluding when there was actually more to look at. So I will go to the envelope after that. I'll try it one more time. This is how the sausage gets made, as they say. And we still have to take it apart. All right. Hey, Frosty Winnipeg is here. Is it still frosty up there? Let me know. All right, let's do a opening. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's open up the lid here and see what we've got inside. It looks pretty nice. This part here is metal, but it is plastic on the bottom. You've got a 720p webcam on the top. You got your 1080p 144 hertz display. It's got a 3 millisecond what is that? What do they call that? Response rate. That's what it is. All right, one more time. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's open it up now and see what it looks like inside. Pretty attractive looking gaming laptop. It's all metal here on the keyboard deck, but it does have a bunch of plastic on it as well, including on the bottom here and on the bezels. 720p webcam. You've got your 1080p 144 hertz display here. This has a 3 millisecond response rate, which means you shouldn't see too much blurring of the image when you've got a lot of animation on screen. The keyboard looks pretty good on this. I'll give you the overhead shot. It is an RGB keyboard. You'll see it light up when we do the full review. And the keys have a decent amount of travel to them. It actually feels pretty nice to type on. Maybe not as deep as some of the Lenovo Legions we've looked at recently, but certainly a lot deeper than some of your average laptops out there. Doesn't feel all that heavy either. I believe it is just under 5 pounds, and it's definitely looking pretty good here. But what I want to do now is open up the bottom and see what we can upgrade on this machine. All right, that'll work. I'll just overlay the weight when I edit the rest of it together. This is the fun part now, is figuring out how to take it apart. So we're going to get out my trusty toolkit, which, by the way, is on sale on Amazon at the moment. Now, where did I put my trusty toolkit? And Matt is here. Hello there on Amazon. This is 16 by 9 because it's 1080p. And Travis said it's been over 100 every, oh my goodness, you must be down south. It's been nice here. Like today's like a really nice day. I really shouldn't be inside, but the show must go on. I did go outside a little bit today. I took the dog for a walk, and then I watered the garden for my wife. We have a garden in the back. It is beginning to bear its vegetables, so we will soon have vegetables. Last year the garden was great. I was like going grocery shopping in my backyard every day. It was awesome. All right, so we got a bunch of screws on here, so we're going to pull out my trusty screwdriver and find the right bit for it. It might be this one, actually. No, that one's too big. It's got some nice big screws on here. Just want to get the right bit for it. North Texas. I can't imagine if that's North Texas, what South Texas is like right now. Oh my goodness. All right, so let me get that going. I'm going to get my magnetic mat out also because I don't want to lose any of these screws, and there's a lot of them. So I'm going to get that out real quick. And we may run out of time, but I will keep you posted here as we go. And we might hit our next 55-minute mark on YouTube. So I like to use this magnetic mat, and what this does is it keeps all my screws in one place, and if you accidentally knock them, if you don't lose the screws, and you can keep them all in the same position. So that is why I like to use that. Okay. And David's using his solar-powered oh, that's pretty cool. His solar-powered Raspberry Pi today. That is neat. All right, so we're going to dive into this computer here and take it apart. People like it when I take things apart. Partly because they hope that maybe I don't put it back together, or maybe I screw it up so bad that it becomes a hopeless loss. We'll see. I'm pretty good at not breaking things. There we go. And Christoph says it's 79. Yeah, I forgot what the temperature is today. It's like in the high 70s, I think. We have a pretty nice day today. My kids, like I said, the kids are at the beach. I just can't sit at the beach all day. I live near the beach. I grew up around it, but I just can't sit. I can't sit and do nothing all day, which is why I'm like, got some time. I'll do a little stream. And when you like what you do for a living, like I do, it doesn't feel like work. And I want to shoot this one tomorrow, just in case it's on special tomorrow on Tuesday. So let's see here. They never make it easy to get into these things because you have to figure out where does the case separate, and that I am not clear about here. So everything's unscrewed. It looks like it goes in there. So we're going to grab my little spudger here, and I think it goes right along this seam here, but I'm not sure. Unless it slides out, maybe? I think it might actually slide. Let's see if my gut's right on that. Something's moving over there. So we got everything unscrewed. I wonder if it goes out from the top here, because it looks like that kind of lessened up a bit. Yep, that looks promising. So that whole area there just loosened up. And can we pull it up from, yeah, there we go. Yeah, once you figure out what latches it in, it comes right off. And there you go. So what do we got here? So I'm guessing that, so you got another NVMe slot over here. They got a lot of stuff packed into this, don't they? Now this chip, I just drooled on it, sorry. This chip here I think is your system chip, right? Yeah, not the CPU, but the North Bridge or the South Bridge, as they say. All right. And the cooling does not look terribly robust on this, right? We've seen more aggressive cooling. All right. Looks like everybody's got some high temperatures here. Okay, so let me see where I left off on this, and then we'll pick it up. Helios part 2, and this is Helios part 3. And what is that one? Hang on a second, folks. Let's get a... Oh, that's part 2. Actually, I have a lot of parts on this video already. All right, hang on a second, folks. I got to just get my clips organized here. This is 2. Part 2. Oh, I think I rejected one of these clips. That's why. Okay, so let's get rid of that one. And this one is 3. Okay, so let me just make sure I got the order of things where I want them, and then we'll continue onward. So let me get rid of these 2 here, remove those from the list, and then I'll play back 1, 2, and 3. All right, so part 2 is the opening of the box. And then part 3 is the keyboard thing that we just did. Okay, yep, there we go. We're good. Okay, so now my keyboard, I got to get those batteries swapped on this keyboard. Okay, so now we're going to open it up. A little swig of my coffee. Better not spill any coffee on this thing. 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's open her up now. It wasn't hard to get, actually, that sounds a little sexist there. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's open it up now, and it was not too hard to get into it. I just had to remove a whole bunch of screws that you can see here, but they were all just Phillips head screws, nothing too complicated there. And then you loosen things up towards the back, and off it comes. You can get a good look at the cooling system here now. You do have upgradable memory on this. It's got 16 gigabytes installed. I'm pretty sure you could go to 64 on this particular setup. You have your NVMe drive right here along with your wireless card. This has a killer Wi-Fi built in, which I assume is going to support Wi-Fi 6. Over here, you've got another NVMe slot. And then here, you have room for a SATA hard drive. But what I don't see in looking at this is an adapter cable to connect that drive. And sometimes these are in the box, but I didn't see it in the box for the review loaner that I received. But I think it might connect up right over here. So it looks like you've got a lot of storage capacity on here if you can find that SATA adapter with the other NVMe, the one you've got, and the SATA on board. All right. I think that works. Yeah, David's right about this one. It was a very short life, wasn't it? The good news is you might see a lot of cheap 11th generation computers coming out soon. All right, so that's the internals. And then the only thing we have left to look at is the envelope, the mystery envelope. I wonder if that adapter is in here. Nope. Do not see it. But it doesn't mean it doesn't come with it. A lot of times this is the part that gets lost with the last person that had the loaner. So that's something that occurs. Let's put this back on here. I'll re-screw everything down in a minute. It's so satisfying when everything snaps in like that. Just love that. Ah. Okay, good there. Ugh. 3, 2, 1. All right, one last thing to look at. Oh, we got a couple more things. Got to look at the power supply too. 3, 2, 1. Now, also in the box is a mystery envelope, which we're going to demystify right now. And what do we have in here? It looks like we've got some stickers along with a manual with your warranty information on there. You have the setup guide here for getting your laptop set up, your premium support service card, and then a declaration of conformity, but no adapter for that SATA connection. But again, this is a loaner model, and it's likely that whatever adapter they were sending out to the press got lost along the way. I'm not the first person to have this one. One last thing to look at, though, in the box is the power supply. So let's have a look at that. It's inside of this thing here. Now, even though these have Thunderbolt ports on them, which can support power delivery, gaming laptops need a lot more power, which is why you've got to walk around with one of these big power bricks. This one, it looks like, is probably going to be about maybe 200 watts. I'd have to look a little closer at the, let me look and see if I can find, oh, it's 230 watts. Yep, let's try it again. So let's see if I can salvage any of that. And so that's the mystery envelope. Envelope cut at, let's see if where I can cut it. Stand by. Let's play that back real quick, and we'll see what we can salvage out of that. 3, 2, 1. Got, though, in the box is the power supply. So let's have a look at that. It's inside of this thing here. Now, all right. So what I'm going to do is say this thing here. For power delivery, this thing here. Now, yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to cut it at this thing here, and then we'll say now and slide it in so we have continuity. That is how we're going to fix that. I really got to change these batteries. My keyboard keeps dying here. This thing here. Okay. So now, what I'm going to say, let me see what I said before, and I'll just say it again. Oh, even though these have, okay. Oops, 3, 2, 1. So even though this has a Thunderbolt port, which will allow for power delivery, it's not enough for a gaming laptop like this one. So you've got to walk around with the big power brick here. This is a 230-watt power supply, which is needed to power its processor and its GPU. It's got a good length of a cable on it, along with the cable to connect to the wall, so you shouldn't have any issue with cable length here. And look what's in the box, the SATA adapter for that extra hard drive. So it is included, so you can have your 2 NVMEs and your SATA drive here. They even give you screws for connecting that SATA drive to the case here. So lots of great expansion on this one, and we're going to come back and do a full review of its performance in the very near future, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right, that'll do it. Let me just watch that real quick. And the best part is, like, somebody will be watching this and be like, it comes with it, it's in the wrong box, you idiot, and then boom, they'll see it. And James said, hi, I saw that in the box. Oh, you did see it when I was taking it out, didn't you? Yep. Well, it's always fun when, like, you can, when the people are shouting at the screen for you to figure it out, and then you figure it out. I think that's awesome. All right, 3, 2, 1. So even though this has a Thunderbolt port, which will allow for power delivery, it's not enough for a gaming laptop like this one. So you've got to walk around with the big power brick here. This is a 230-watt power supply, which is needed to power its processor and its GPU. It's got a good length of a cable on it, along with the cable to connect to the wall, so you shouldn't have any issue with cable length here. And look what's in the box, the SATA adapter for that extra hard drive. So it is included, so you can have your 2 NVMEs and your SATA drive here. They even give you screws for connecting that SATA drive to the case here. So lots of great expansion on this one, and we're going to come back and do a full review of its performance in the very near future, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching. All right, good, I can live with that. So now we're going to put it back together, and I'll boot it up real quick. And if we'll see how much time we have, because if I can get away with it, we will do a first round of benchmarks on it and see how it performs. Now this one right now has Windows 10 on it, but the ones shipping now come with Windows 11. And I am surrounded by boxes right now. I got more boxes around me than you know. What's nice is that you don't see all the junk that's on the floor next to me, which is part of why I want to do that, start auctioning off or selling off all this stuff. Because part of the problem is when you get things in from the manufacturer, you really can't sell the stuff. I mean, it's not the intent of the gear. So, and I've been reluctant to do giveaways per se because there's a lot of legalities involved with that, and there's also some pitfalls you run into with YouTube with giveaways and stuff too. So I've always liked doing these cost of shipping giveaways, which you're basically buying it for the cost of getting it to you. And that's a little different than a raffle from a legal perspective. And what attracted me to, and I'll be selling regular stuff on there too, but what attracted me to this Whatnot is the fact that it can be kind of a fun gathering opportunity. So sign up for the store alert email at Lon.TV/store alert. So we're going to do a series of streams where I just start getting rid of stuff. Because my wife's going to kill me. I've got so much stuff all over the house. And none of it's like high value. It's not a lot of valuable stuff. Like things like this gaming laptop are always, on loan. So I'm not keeping any of this. But, the mini PCs that we get, all that stuff. I've got a lot of mini PCs to get rid of. And I got to spend some time like, resetting them and everything, but we will do that. All right, so let me put this back together here. Okay, and James says, that's why I never got married. I must say my wife is very understanding, because this is like the family business, right? This is the, some people have a law firm. I guess if you're a lawyer, you get a lot of paperwork. Well, I'm a tech reviewer. I get a lot of tech stuff that just kind of permeates the household here. All right, so that's done. So now, oh, she's calling me. Hang on a second. Let me get her on the phone. This might end the evening. Let's see what she has to say. I'm going to mute, though, so I don't get in trouble. So hang on. All right, we're good. So I got a few minutes. They are coming home, but I've got a few minutes to just start this process. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do the 3D Mark benchmark. So we have to get, we'll get Steam installed on here, and that will be about the extent of what I can get done before I have to go. All right. So Recipe Bob went from coax. Yeah, fiber's like, so who's your fiber with? Because this is, all of a sudden, and this might have been the result of some of this COVID infrastructure money that was spent, but like suddenly there's fiber popping up everywhere, even in my area. So Frontier, the telephone company that went bankrupt, they have emerged from bankruptcy and they are going bonkers, like running fiber all over the place. It hasn't made it to my neighborhood yet, but it's like, as you saw in my video I did the other day, it's like it's right nearby now. So it is getting very close. All right, let's power this sucker on here. That's the turbo button. What the heck does that do? I thought that was the power button, but that's the turbo button. Well, of course we want turbo. We don't want to have this thing running at like sub-turbo speeds. All right. And wow, that was a quick boot up. I'm going to plug my Ethernet in because you know what? I've got super fast internet here, so why not just do that? Ugh. Yeah, so they're going to be offering, in my neighborhood, gigabit symmetrical, I think for about $100 a month, which is less than I'm paying for my 6 gigabits, but like I said, I think the connection I have is better than what you would get from one of those shared fiber connections. Not to sound snotty or anything. So I'm going to probably stay put with what I have. But we'll see. I mean, it also depends on how the business is doing, because I'm spending a lot on this internet connection. So if I can get a comparable connection for less money, that might be worth looking at. But could Frontier maintain my 30 megabits per second 4K stream? I'm not sure. So we'll see. Maybe the price will come down. I doubt it, but we'll have to see. I think what's going to happen is, as I mentioned in my review video the other day, that they're getting much more aggressive on connectivity now. And oh, turbo is for fan speed. I bet you're right. Yep. That fan's like running bonkers. Listen to that. Holy mackerel. What the heck does that? So I wonder if that like results in a alternative amount of performance here. Yeah, this is running the fan at like full speed. Wow. Yeah, we'll turn that off. Jeez. So the question, though, is, let's see if there's any. I'm guessing they must have some custom game software that configures your system for whatever they want to do, because I don't see anything on here beyond the usual. We'll find out in a minute. So let me install. Well, what we can do is we can run the benchmark twice and see if that makes any difference here. So I have Steam installed. I'm just going to log into Steam without having my password on screen here. All right, I received my thing here. Yeah, Travis says it sounds like it should be, it does sound like a server rack. I think I have like one of these big fireproof Synologies in the closet over there. I think that's quieter than the fan on this thing. It's like, get your wind tunnel going. Okay. Oops. What happened here? What did I do? There we go. Okay, so now we're going to connect my little drive here. The one thing about the Acers that drives me crazy is that they have I have a lot more bloatware. So I've got like this Norton crap that I'm going to take off, I just don't like the Norton stuff. I think it's just kind of bloated. All right, so we're going to connect my little Steam drive here. And then I got to run it after we run this because my wife is going to need help with the kids. We're trying to hose the kids off before it's time to go to Grandma's house. So let's go add a new drive. I plugged my drive in, but it didn't recognize it. Local drive D. Is there 2 drives on here already? Let's see. Oh, it's down there. Okay, never mind. It's there. It's D. So let's go add D. Need to go a specific location. Let me choose another location. And we'll go to D. And I think it's under Steam Games. Yes. Okay, so we're good there. And then we'll go to 3D Mark, and we'll launch that sucker. Agree. But the display looks nice on it. It's not a touch screen or anything, but it's a gaming laptop. The recipe sometimes forgets to have his phone near him. Yeah, I know that feeling. That's part of why I haven't been using the YubiKeys, because I don't have them near me all the time. Christoph wants to know how fast is the Wi-Fi. We'll check that out in a minute too. Right now I got it connected to Ethernet, just to speed up the process here before my wife needs me with the kids. All right, so let's take a look here and see how this plays out. I'm getting hungry too. Okay, so we are almost there. And I think we'll just run the time spy benchmark like we usually do. And Travis has got a request for a Wi-Fi speed test too. Yeah, we'll give that a shot in a minute once. Let me get this part done first here, and then we'll do that. And while that's loading, I will get my benchmark ready to be inputted into. So if you go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, you can see the spreadsheet that we use here on the channel. It's actually turned into quite an extensive database. So this has benchmark data for every computer I have looked at for the last 7 or 8 years. So it's pretty extensive at this point. And we'll be operating in the Time Spy section. And I expect this to come in at around a score of 7,500 or so, because that's about what we saw out of the HP Victus that we looked at recently. Although, oh, that's right, we got to look at the voltage. When this is done, because these NVIDIA GPUs in this 3000 era can be configured at different voltages, which impact their performance. And I remember that on the Victus, I think, being a factor in its performance. Because, yes, because the Legion Slim 7 did better graphically because it had the same GPU, but it had a higher power level that it was running at. And what I like to do with this 3D Mark thing is like just turn the computer on and run it, because this is what the experience is going to be like when people first get these computers going. Mark Smith says, "Will it levitate?" Yeah, that's what the Tesla Roadster is going to do. It's going to levitate. But I might run this test later with turbo mode enabled and see if it makes any difference. Because the Legions have a similar feature where you can just with a key press like increase the top level performance, but the fan will still vary itself, so it's not going to spin up to full fan levels unless it needs to. But yeah, I'm going to run it separately with, I want to have it without and with, because I think this would make a great I always say this whenever we run this test, I think this would make a great VR game. And the fan is spinning faster now. But yeah, I'll run it later on with fan mode, turbo mode on, and see if that makes any difference in performance. On the Legion laptops, it does make a difference, but they're having you tune more than you're tuning more than just the fan level. It's also adjusting the clock speed of the computer. So what it does is it runs this demo first before it actually starts the benchmark. And what this does, it basically warms it up to see if it can handle everything that the computer needs to do for the test. And yep, I'll be running the 3D Mark VR test probably also just to get a feel for that. We usually use that as a reference point. But this laptop will do fine for VR. Now, I love this concept. This would be like such a great VR game because you look at how this would work as a VR title, because you'd have, one hand for the time mirror and then the other for whatever you pick up. Like this would totally work as an awesome VR game. But it's just a demo. Right, and that's what I was alluding to, as David points out here, that the Lenovo Vantage software does allow you to overclock things a bit. So when you put it in its performance mode, it actually tunes everything higher. So the question would be, does that button do that? Because on the Lenovo side, you have like some software that corresponds with the key press. And this is interesting also because this is running windowed. Usually it goes full screen, so I'm not sure what's going on here. That might impact the results, actually. Just what we need, right? That's odd. I haven't changed the settings either. Yeah, this test is going to probably be invalid now because it's not running full screen. But we'll see what we get. If it comes close to where it needs to be, that'll be good, but this is problematic. Because it was full screen before, and then it just went into this windowed mode, which was odd. Recipe Bob said it sounds like the box fan. Those can get noisy, those box fans. I was watching Hoovie's Garage. Oh, it canceled it. And the Car Wizard has these like huge fans for his shop. All right. I don't want to have the demo run again. I don't have time to sit through the whole thing again. Man. Let's see if I can set it. Let's go back to Time Spy. Oh, include demo, no. Okay, so let's turn that off. Rendering device 3060. Huh. Yeah, it's giving me an error here that the rendering device is not connected directly to the display. I wonder if we need to like disable, it must be switching between the Intel chip and the NVIDIA GPU. What do they call that? There's a term for that. All right, we're going to have it just stay on the high performance NVIDIA processor, and that should rectify that situation. And while we're here, I think we can find out what the power consumption is on this thing. Okay, so this is running at 105 watts. So I'm going to mark that up here, which I think is higher than the HP one we were looking at recently. So 105 watts. And I think, I'll go back and look at that, because that was the Victus 16 that had the same GPU as this one. And that Victus was running, maybe it wasn't the Victus. I remember going into a discussion about this. I can't remember which one it was now. Maybe it was the Legion 5. Let's take a look at the Legion 5 Pro. 3050. Huh. Well, I remember one of these things having a GPU that was not running as well as the others because of the wattage. And I can't seem to find which one it was now, but maybe this will fix it. All right, so we're going to close this out. And we'll try running that 3D Mark test again, because now we've got it. Demo off. Let's hit run and see if it goes full screen here. It's always something. I thought, let's run the benchmark real quick. It'll be easy. And nope, no such luck. But it's not going to do the demo again this time, so we'll see how it. Yeah, so maybe we may have to adjust it in the BIOS. I did set it at the driver level there and see if that makes any difference, but we shall see. There it goes. Now it's full screen. And I forced it always to have the NVIDIA GPU that is on, which is a great way to kill the battery quick. But we are plugged in. So this is now in benchmark mode. Even though it looks like the same thing, it's actually running the benchmark. And we are coming up on our next cutoff from YouTube, about 5 or 10 minutes away. So just be prepared. All right, so that's the first test done. And then we'll do the second test, and then there's one more after this one, and then we'll have a result. I got a lot done this afternoon. So think about it. I sat down here at, I think like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I got the weekly wrap-up video done already. I got 2 unboxings done, and we have the first start of a benchmark here for the laptop that I hope to review tomorrow. So good progress. You might, if you follow me on Amazon, I will probably shoot the review of this live. I've been doing that lately. If this product is on Amazon, I don't stream it on YouTube. I just do it on Amazon. So you can follow along there. Those have been doing pretty well, actually. And Mike is here. Good to see you again. It's late there in the UK. Yeah, it's almost dinner time here. It is 5 p.m., which means that it's probably, what, about 11, almost midnight there, right? Yeah, this is what's funny, is that it is very predictable. It's like clockwork. And I don't know what's causing it. And it didn't do it the other day. So we had, it's done it on every single stream except the one we did most recently. And I can't figure out what is the cause. And what's funny is that so few people complain about it, because very few people are able to, so few people are able to, stream at 30 megabits per second. So, not to sound snotty at all, but most people do a 1080p stream, 6 or 7 megabits per second. But yeah, like Linus has like a 10 gig connection, I think, at his place, right? He's got quite an operation. When you look at the Linus Tech Tips audience size, he is much bigger. And I'm not even talking about just video. I'm talking even compared to their written content. Linus is probably twice the size of The Verge, if not bigger than that. All right, here's our result. We got a score of 7,660. And that comes in about where I would expect it to. So if you go on Lon.TV/benchmarks, you can see me starting to type this in. So this is the Acer Helios P3, what do they call this one? This is the Helios 300. And you got to get the model numbers right on these things, because it's a total nightmare. i7-11800H and an RTX 3060. And if you look at the Acer Slim above it, let me dial the number in here first. Yep, we're back. Okay. Okay, so now if you can hear me over the fan noise, we're going to run the test again in turbo mode. And we'll see how it does in that mode, because it came in graphically. If you go to Lon.TV/benchmarks, I will highlight the result right now for you. It came in about 3 frames per second lower than the last 3060 machine we looked at, which was on a Lenovo device. And I suspect that running it in turbo mode is going to bring us to an equal balance here, but with a much noisier fan. So there's no variable fan speed on turbo mode here. It just blasts them at full throttle. But I don't know if there's a subsequent overclocking going on at the same time. But in looking at the frame counter here, I think we're doing a little better. And Recipe says he'd go to sleep with that noise. I don't know if you would go to sleep with this noise. It doesn't sound that bad on the mic, but I think it's pretty freaking loud. I mean, it is noisy. Mark says, doesn't 4K chew up a lot of bandwidth? Yes. Yeah, so just to put it in perspective, it's about 5 times the bandwidth I was streaming at 1080p. So before I was giving you 6.5 megabits per second, I think. And now I'm giving you 30. And I could go higher too, but I found 30 is fine. It looks good. All right. Yeah, and what's funny is when it does cut out at the 50-ish minute mark, is that it will sometimes, and by the way, I'm referring to the mark, not Mark Hilton. It sometimes will reconnect quickly, as it just did this time. But the first one we experienced today, I had to recycle it myself. So I'm not sure what's going on, but they're aware of it and they're working on it. So I will take their word for it. All right, so now we are going through the same test now with the turbo mode enabled. When I do have wattage now on my list here, so I'm going to add the 105. Looks like I have not added it to the other machines here. Oh, so this was what it was. The ThinkBook 15P was at 50 watts. Right, so some of these can go at lower watts than others. I'm going to put 105 in there. And I'm going to make a note to keep doing that. I have a few other GPU-based machines to look at this week. Boy, that thing is noisy. Well, let's see if we get a better score. So the prior score was 7,660. And now with turbo mode enabled, and the dBs going through the roof in the room here, we are at, whoa, that is a big difference. Holy moly. So that gets us to where the Lenovo Slim was, with a much quieter fan, even at its full blast. So I'm going to add this to the list here. This is going to be turbo mode. And we got 8264. And I'm so used to hitting touchscreens now. Yeah, so this is much better. So they must be doing a little bit of overclocking in addition to... So this is pretty much on par with what the Lenovo gets you when it is in its high performance mode. But again, not as noisy on the Lenovo. So there you go. All right. Well, that settles that question. And this is why I like doing these things, because it was your suggestions that led me to try that. And you can see there's a difference of about, I'll have to get the percentage out, but I'm guessing probably about a 5 or 10% performance boost by going with the turbo button. But you got to put up with that fan. Oy. All right, so I think I'm going to stop here before I get too engrossed in all of this. But yeah. So we're going to do more with this. So stay tuned. I will likely be streaming on Amazon when I review it. So follow me on Amazon if you're not already. You can click on the link in the video description. It'll take you right in over there, because we've got a lot of Amazon Prime Day stuff happening. I will stream in both places on Prime Day, but I've been... Oh, now I'm losing my Amazon one. Hang on, my Amazon stream is going out now, which is, that never happens. What is going on? Let's see. Oh, wow, I got dropped from Amazon. So it must be a problem on their end. I think they're getting inundated with people streaming as we're getting closer to Prime Day. It just started back up again. But yeah, I had a little drop out over there too. I wonder if I'm having connection problems. I may have to reboot my networking equipment. But it looks like we're back up and running here. MG Fur is wondering, don't capture cards just capture the viewfinder? No, so yeah, so Frank, we lost the Amazon stream for a minute too. I'm not sure what happened there. Regarding production systems, don't capture cards, just capture the viewfinder. No, so they, it depends on the camera. So the cameras that I bought will output what they're bringing in out over the HDMI, and that's why I bought these cameras. Now there are many cameras, and this is why I went with the ones that I have, these JVCs. There are many cameras that do not do anything other than 1080i out the HDMI. So there are cameras that record at a higher resolution than they output. And my Canon over there that I bring with me on remote shoots is one of those cameras. It only does 1080p 60, even though it can record 4K. But my Sony camera can do a full 4K through its output. So you have to get like above the consumer level, like into the prosumer level area. That's where I think you need to go. And I'm not sure what you mean by this. Why not always fun in turbo mode? I'm guessing noise and power consumption. Oh, why not always leave it? Yeah, we should. I need to look into what this turbo mode does. I would have liked for the fan to have been variable in that mode because it's freaking noisy. But you know what? It works, right? So that's probably why they do that. There's just no ambiguity about it. All right. Well, I got to run, everybody. The kids are upstairs moving around, and I got to help get them ready. So I'm going to turn this sucker off. I'm going to probably run my stress test on it in 2 different modes tonight. One will be with the turbo mode on and one with it off, just to see if that impacts throttling. I imagine it will. So we will look at that. And yeah, a bunch of stuff to explore. Gaming laptops are always fun because they have a lot of depth to them. Yes, good stuff. Okay. All right, everybody. I will catch you all on the next one, and thank you all for tuning in. Bye-bye.